The history of how the US dollar became the world's prominent currency. Opening scene visuals of bustling global financial centers Wall Street, London's financial district, and Shanghai's skyline. A narrator's voice overlays the scene. Narrator: the United States dollar, a symbol of stability, power, and trust. Today, it is the cornerstone of global finance, influencing economies and shaping international trade. But how did the US dollar ascend to this unparalleled position? This is the story of its rise to prominence. Chapter 1: The birth of the dollar. Visuals of colonial America, early use coins, and a replica of the Continental Congress. Narrator: the journey of the US dollar began in the late 18th century. In 1792, the Coinage Act established the dollar as the standard unit of currency for the newly independent United States. Its design was inspired by the Spanish dollar, a widely used currency in the Americas. Cut to a historian speaking in a study filled with old books and artifacts. Historian: the Spanish dollar, or pieces of 8, was trusted and easily recognizable by adopting a decimal-based system. The US dollar differentiated itself, paving the way for future innovation in currency. Chapter 2: The Gold Standard Era. Visuals of gold coins, early banknotes, and mining operations. Narrator: in the 19th century, the US dollar's credibility was bolstered by its connection to gold. The Gold Standard Act of 1900 solidified this relationship, ensuring that every dollar could be exchanged for a fixed amount of gold. Interview with an economist in a modern office setting. Economist: the gold standard gave the dollar intrinsic value, fostering trust both domestically and internationally. However, it also tied the dollar's fate to the availability of gold, creating vulnerabilities. Chapter 4: The End of the Gold Standard. Visuals of President Richard Nixon, economic protests, and oil embargo headlines. Narrator: by the 1970s, the strain of maintaining gold reserves became unsustainable. In 1971, President Richard Nixon announced the end of the dollar's convertibility to gold, effectively dismantling the Bretton Woods system. Clip of Nixon's televised speech. Nixon: I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold. Economist: this marked the transition to fiat currency, where the dollar's value was no longer tied to gold but to trust in the US government and economy. Chapter 5: The Petrodollar and Global Dominance. Visuals of oil fields, OPEC meetings, and trading floors. Narrator: the 1970s also saw the birth of the petrodollar system. Agreements with oil-producing nations ensured that oil would be traded exclusively in US dollars, further cementing its global dominance. Interview with a geopolitical analyst. Analyst: the petrodollar reinforced demand for the dollar, as countries needed it to purchase oil. This created a cycle of dependency that continues to this day. Chapter 5: The Petrodollar and Global Dominance. Visuals of oil fields, OPEC meetings, and trading floors. Narrator: the 1970s also saw the birth of the petrodollar system. Agreements with oil-producing nations ensured that oil would be traded exclusively in US dollars, further cementing its global dominance. Interview with a geopolitical analyst. Analyst: the petrodollar reinforced demand for the dollar, as countries needed it to purchase oil. This created a cycle of dependency that continues to this day. Chapter 6: Challenges and Resilience. Visuals of the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin, and emerging currencies like the euro and yuan. Narrator: the US dollar has faced numerous challenges: financial crises, the rise of digital currencies, and competition from other global powers. Yet, it remains the world's preferred currency for trade and reserves. Interview with a financial journalist. Journalist: the dollar's resilience lies in the strength of the US economy, its deep financial markets, and the trust it commands worldwide. Closing scene montage of global cities at night, international trade, and diverse people using the dollar. Narrator: from its humble beginnings to its current status as the linchpin of global finance, the US dollar's journey is a testament to the power of trust, adaptability, and economic influence. As the world evolves, so too will the story of the dollar.